Overthinking can paralyze us, making simple decisions feel impossible. But what if the key to moving forward lies in simply taking action? Too often, we find ourselves trapped in a cycle of endless thoughts. We analyze every possibility, replay scenarios in our minds, and question whether we are making the right choice. The result? We stay stuck, unable to move forward, fearing that one wrong step could lead to failure. But the real danger isn't making the wrong decision, it's making no decision at all. Overthinking creates hesitation, and hesitation leads to missed opportunities. The longer we wait, the harder it becomes to take action. We tell ourselves we need more time, more certainty, more perfection before we begin. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting only keeps us in the same place. The truth is, no amount of thinking will ever replace action. Action is what creates momentum, clarity, and progress. It's in the doing that we learn, grow, and refine our path. Every great achievement starts with a single step, one that wasn't perfect, but necessary. In this video, we'll break down why overthinking keeps you stuck, and more importantly, how to break free from it. You'll learn practical strategies to quiet the endless cycle of doubt and start taking real, tangible steps toward what you want. Because at the end of the day, overthinking won't bring you closer to your goals. Action will. And the sooner you take that first step, the sooner you'll move from uncertainty to confidence, from hesitation to progress. Let's get started. Overthinking is when our mind spirals out of control, creating doubts, questions, and uncertainties that prevent us from making decisions. It starts with a simple thought, a choice, an idea, a possibility. But instead of taking action, the mind begins to analyze every detail. What if it doesn't work? What if there's a better way? What if something goes wrong? One thought leads to another, and soon the mind is caught in an endless loop, trapped between possibilities but never moving forward. Why do we overthink? Most of the time, overthinking is rooted in fear, the fear of failure, of making the wrong choice, of not being perfect. We convince ourselves that if we think long enough, we can predict the outcome, avoid mistakes, and make the best possible decision. But the truth is, no amount of thinking can guarantee perfection. Perfection itself is an illusion, and chasing it only leads to hesitation. Another reason people overthink is the pressure to get everything right. The weight of expectations, whether from society, others, or ourselves, makes even small choices feel overwhelming. Instead of trusting our instincts and taking the next step, we freeze, believing that the perfect answer must exist if we just think a little longer. But what are the consequences of overthinking? The longer we stay in our heads, the less we accomplish in reality. Time passes, but nothing changes. Opportunities slip away, not because we weren't capable, but because we didn't act. Overthinking creates a cycle of doubt and inaction, where even simple decisions feel exhausting. The result? Frustration, regret, and the realization that we've spent more time thinking than doing. The truth is, doing nothing is often worse than making a mistake. Mistakes can be corrected, lessons can be learned, and paths can be adjusted. But indecision leads nowhere. The only way to break free from the trap of overthinking is to stop chasing certainty and start moving forward, imperfectly, but decisively. When you take action, you begin to see the results. Even small steps bring new insights, making the next decision easier. Overthinking keeps you trapped in uncertainty, but action brings clarity. When you stop analyzing every possibility and take a step forward, even the smallest movement provides feedback. You begin to see what works, what doesn't, and what direction to take next. Answers don't come from endless thinking. They come from experience. Think of a closed door. You can stand in front of it, wondering what's on the other side, imagining every possibility, debating whether to open it. Or you can simply turn the handle and step through. Once you do, the uncertainty disappears, replaced by knowledge of what's ahead. Action is that simple. It removes doubt and replaces it with reality. Every action builds momentum. As you take one step, you gain confidence, and that leads to more steps and bigger decisions. Action is like a rolling stone. The hardest part is the first push, the moment when you decide to start. But once you move, momentum takes over. One step leads to another, and soon, you're not just making decisions, you're moving forward with purpose. Confidence isn't something you gain by thinking. It's something you build by doing. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you're capable. You stop questioning whether you can and start knowing that you can. And with every step, fear fades, hesitation weakens, and progress becomes natural. Waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan often leads to paralysis. There's no perfect time. There's only now. Perfection is a lie that keeps people stuck. The perfect moment will never come. The perfect plan will never appear. No matter how much you prepare, something will always be uncertain. The key is to start anyway. Progress is never about having every detail figured out in advance. It's about adapting, learning, and adjusting along the way. Those who succeed aren't the ones who waited for the perfect opportunity. They're the ones who took action when everything was still uncertain. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Start now. When you know where you're headed, you can focus on the next step, not on the overwhelming distance to the finish line. One of the biggest causes of overthinking is uncertainty about the future. The unknown can feel intimidating, making every decision seem heavier than it really is. The solution is to set clear goals. When you have a specific direction, decisions become simpler. Instead of questioning every option, you measure your choices against your goal and take the next logical step. Think of it like a journey. If you focus only on the long road ahead, you might feel discouraged before you even start. But if you focus on reaching just the next checkpoint, the path becomes manageable. Progress is built step by step, not all at once. Instead of trying to figure out everything at once, break your task into smaller, manageable actions. Each small step makes the bigger task seem less daunting. Overthinking often happens when a challenge feels too big. The mind becomes overwhelmed, trying to solve everything at once. The key is to break the task down. What is the first small action you can take? Start there. Every great achievement begins with a single step. Instead of getting lost in endless thoughts about how difficult something is, shift your focus to just one action. Once that's done, move on to the next. This keeps momentum going and prevents hesitation. Set a time limit for decision-making. Give yourself a set period to think, then take action. Trust yourself to make decisions quickly and move forward. Overthinking thrives when decisions are left open-ended. The longer you analyze, the harder it becomes to choose. Set a deadline. Give yourself a certain amount of time to weigh the options, then commit. Trust that no decision is perfect. There will always be unknowns, but forward motion is better than standing still. Many decisions can be adjusted along the way, but nothing happens until you make a move. Understand that no action is without risk. Make peace with the idea that it's okay not to have everything figured out. Fear of making the wrong choice often leads to overthinking. But perfection isn't necessary for progress. Every decision carries some level of risk, and that's okay. Growth comes from taking chances, learning from mistakes, and adjusting as needed. Let go of the need for certainty. Accept that some things will unfold as you go. The important thing is to start. Action creates clarity, and clarity leads to success. Success is built on consistency, not perfection. Keep moving. even if it's at a slow pace. Too often, people stop themselves from moving forward because they believe every step needs to be flawless. But the truth is, progress is made through steady, consistent action, not by waiting for the perfect plan. Even small, imperfect steps add up over time. A slow pace is still movement, and movement leads to results. The key is to commit to showing up every day, even when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline and consistency build real momentum. The more you push forward, the easier it becomes to keep going. Failure isn't the end, it's a lesson. Mistakes show you what works and what doesn't. They help you improve and move forward faster. Setbacks will happen. There will be moments when things don't go as planned, when decisions lead to unexpected outcomes, and when doubt creeps in. But mistakes are not failures. They are feedback. Each challenge is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and grow. Instead of seeing setbacks as reasons to stop, use them as stepping stones. Every mistake carries a lesson that brings you closer to success. The only real failure is refusing to try again. You'll face doubt and fear. That's natural. But taking action despite those fears is where real growth happens. Doubt whispers that you're not ready. Fear tries to convince you to stay in your comfort zone. These feelings will always exist, but they don't have to control you. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act despite it. Confidence is built through action. The more you step forward, the quieter doubt becomes. Fear loses its power when you refuse to let it stop you. Keep going, keep learning, and keep pushing past the hesitation. Consistency, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward. This is how real transformation happens.